Welcome to another jam-packed episode of the Kick in the Head podcast. I'm really looking forward to this one. This is the first recap show we have of 2025, and we are recapping EFC 121. And tonight, to help me break it all down, are my boys, Aki the Kraken and Ola from the Fight Week Show. Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight?
Yeah, we here,
Hey,
bro.
man, I'm good. Tired but good.
Tired but good.
I'm hungry but good. How about that?
Man.
As we know, it is Ola's time of the day to have his dinner. But before he has his dinner, we are here talking EFC 121. Ooh, Ola's disappeared. EFC 121. Now, EFC 121 happened this past Thursday, and as always, EFC put together a show. The fighters in this card, I think, came and brought it. And as we see there, we had the one and only DDP in attendance. But I think we'll talk later in the show about how he actually influenced the fight night. Now, coming to the fight night, let me start with you, Aki. Now, this is the first card of the year from the EFC. And we left off on EFC 120, where we had Botha versus Michael, electric night, great night to end off the fight year. But in terms of this fight card, how would you describe it in one word? Like, how did you feel when you saw this fight card coming up as the first fight card of the year with Roets versus Sekeletu for the featherweight interim? I must stress interim.
Yeah, title. Interim. Yeah, bro. One word. Bananas. Should be illegal. It should have been illegal, bro. It was crazy. Musa, like the Zwane versus Billy, like bro.
Bananas.
I think that's my one word, bro.
Bro, it was bananas. I like that. Ola, now I know that you didn't manage to watch it live, but you managed to catch up on the fights later.
Yeah.
Looking at the winners here on this card, were there any big surprises that popped up at you to say, well, look, I really didn't think this fight was going to go this way, but this man pulled it out of the fire?
I want to say Billy because we rock with Ayanda a lot, and we know how much hard work that Ayanda really puts in going into a fight. But to really get Ayanda the way he did, I wasn't expecting that. I didn't see that one coming. But shout out to Billy though. I thought that was an excellent win for Billy, especially with somebody with so much heart as Ayanda. Billy would be that guy if I was to mention somebody. But really good card though.
Yeah, I think it was a fairly decent card. Out of 10, let me start with you, Kraken. How would you rate the card before we get into the actual details of everything that happened on the night? How would you rate the card overall?
So I would let me say I'm judging this based on the emotions I felt with 120, which is the Eagle, right? The Eagle fight. So I would say that's a 10. This one is a 9.6. Okay. This one is a 9.6. Because there was so much happening. Because I came in with the Plaatjies fight, right? And there was a cracker, but like Bandu versus Bar, bro. Like Bandu kicked him in the head, like when he was like ducking down, bro. And I was like, how did he survive that? Like this card was crazy. shout out to Graham for what he did. Like, he outdid himself.
Ola, how about you?
Yeah.
Only one title fight, like Aki said, last time we had two. How would you rate this card?
This card is in the upper nine for me, and I say that because of the craziness in the main event of the evening. And big shout out to Ken Sekeletu as well. Uh, Billy doing what he did with Ayanda the Power, who's a friend of the show. And on top of that, we know how crazy Diego Bandu is. And one other brother that I'm going to give a shout out to as well that really brought this card out the way I was looking at it is that Ash Zola. Ash Zola coming into this fight as a debutant and managed to pull off the win that he did. I thought that was fantastic as well. So a shout out to Ash Zola for the card. But all in all, really good card. Loads of excitement and plenty of craziness, which is
Give
never
me a
shown.
number, Ola. Give me a number. What would you rate it?
I said upper nines. I'll say 9.2, 9.3. Upper nines, man. Upper nines. You know what I mean? 9.2, 9.3. Yeah.
I won't say too much. I'm just a little bit harsher. But honestly, this card was the most exciting card. I think I watched it's the first card I've been at since the first fight of the prelims. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it a straight up 9.5, similar to you guys. I wanted to be harsher, but then I realized that it was actually very, very exciting. I agree. But with that said, let's get into the real excitement of the night. Let's get into the main fight, the title fight between Roets and Sekeletu. Now, this fight, we know, didn't quite go the distance. Both guys came into the fight very, very confident. Team CIT on the right in the challenger, Ken Sekeletu. Roedie Roets training with Iga the GOAT, Smiley Kabesa, who is currently injured, the current featherweight title holder. And what I have there is wrong. It's not a featherweight title. It's actually the interim featherweight title. This fight ended with a doctor stoppage in the middle, or I think it was a verbal tap out. Sorry, verbal submission by Roets in the at the end of the first round. Aki, you were there when you were watching this fight, the first round. How were you feeling? Who did you think was who did you think was winning the fight prior to that stoppage?
To be honest, I think Ken was winning. Ken was winning because he was like more dominating. You know, he was more dominating. Like he was striking. You know, he was striking. He was giving us a fight. You know, obviously Roedie was hugging, as always. You know, he was hugging as always.
Like you said in the preview show, it's gonna be a hug.
Hey, hold on. Now, don't you start taking the piss out of grapplers now, brother. You know what I mean? Big Ang did something special on the weekend, man. You know what I mean?
Like,
the piss out grapplers, man.
It's insufferable with the Big Ang win this week.
Yeah, man. But like, it was a great card. It was a great fight, actually. Very, very, because I expected Roedie to test Ken. You know, I expected him to test Ken. Like, that's why I was kind of disappointed when he like literally was complaining about like the back of the head shots. You know, but I think I did see a back of the head shot. So, yeah, like I'm hoping they could rerun it. But like, congrats to Ken, man. Like, he brings another title to Team CIT. We will gladly accept that.
We will gladly accept that. Now, this fight, as we said, ended in a verbal submission by Roedie at the end of the first round. He was shaken possibly by a few shots to the head, which he says were illegal, but the referee didn't see anything. The judging team didn't see anything. So when he verbally submitted, the title goes to Ken. Ola, what do you think this means in terms of Sekeletu's credibility as a champion? Because on the socials, they've already been saying, I don't think this is a real champion because of how this fight ended. What are your thoughts on what Sekeletu needs to do or what this really means in terms of him having won this title? Although I must repeat, it's an interim title of which I don't even think people should be fighting for an interim title, but here we are.
Interim titles are special, right? I rate interim titles Because yes, as much as you're a glorified number one contender, as far as being an interim title is concerned, it's the fight that you actually put into it, right? When Robert Whittaker beat Romero for the interim title, Bisping tried rubbish it, but then look who went on to be a better champion out of the two of them, right? When Triple B came down on 10 hours notice and bagged that interim title, ain't nobody try. It's how you win it. When Stylebender bagged up his interim title against Gastelum, is that not the baddest fight you ever seen, right? So I'm not here trying to disrespect interim titles at all. Interim titles means interim titles, and sometimes you look at the way the fight was won with a verbal submission. That's a win-win, even on a DQ. Look at Aljo when Aljo first won the belt against Yao. I was celebrating with him. I know he got cussed by a lot of people, but listen, this is MMA. You got to get that belt. When the belt is on the line, whether it's interim, whether it's undisputed, it puts you at the pinnacle, right? You're right there with the champion, just to how do you say, to unify the belts, right? And even if they don't want to unify, it still depends on the work that you're doing. Look at Tom Aspinall, interim title again, and look what he's done, even over the undisputed champion in John Jones himself, right? So for me, I think that interim title that he got there is now for him to go and try and unify the undisputed. Maybe if he's feeling generous, it might give somebody another chance, maybe before actually in a way like defending the interim title. If the undisputed champion is not available yet, maybe you can do an interim title like bout. We've seen it plenty of times. We've seen it plenty of times when the interim title has been on the line. So for me, this guy has done a fantastic job. Sekeletu has done a fantastic job of at least winning that belt, and then what the cards in his hands, the cards in his hands now. He can make what demands he wants, and he can go right at the undisputed champion and get a challenge that way and see if he can unify the belt successfully. So for me, not a big problem at all. I like what he did.
Look, I think you are right, especially with the fact that the title is currently with Iga Smiley Kabesa, the GOAT, and he's injured and won't be fighting. I'm not too sure how much longer he'll be out, but obviously it was 120. It was only 4 months ago where he got a severe head injury, so he's still got a bit of time. But he hasn't fought for that featherweight title since defeating Ken's training partner, Humphrey Mulenga, for that title. No, actually, that was a lightweight bout. Sorry, that's when he won the lightweight title.
Yeah,
so he hasn't actually fought at featherweight for a very long time. The questions about stripping start to come up, similar to the stripping of the other GOAT, John Jones, which is very interesting.
What stripping are you talking about?
I'm just saying, if you're holding a title for too long, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, but what stripping? John Jones ain't be stripped. I've never heard of John Jones be stripped.
I didn't say he's been stripped. I said there are whispers in certain quarters about holding titles without fighting.
Fuck the whispers, man. You know what I mean? Burn the whispers, man. We're talking about the GOAT here, man. The dirty GOAT, man. The dirty GOAT. Show some respect, brother. Come on, please continue.
No Jones slander, as Crossovers MMA says. Shout out everyone in the chats. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
I just did, Cross.
Subscribe to the channels. We got Aki the Kraken, all up from the Fight Week show. But I think let's move away from the Sekeletu and Roots fight. Great title fight. Thank you guys for bringing it. Let's move on to the other fight of the night in the featherweight division between Ayanda Zwane and Billy the Kid Oosthuizen. Now, this fight is very important because the discussion we just had of who's next, this fight kind of answers that question as to who is potentially next to take on Ken Sekeletu. Now, this fight, I think, Ola, like you said, let me start with you. This fight didn't quite go as we had expected. The odds, however, were favoring Billy the Kid. The odds had him as the favorite and Ayanda as the underdog. And that was very strange to me because of the performance he had put in against Roedie Roets. However, what happened in the fight was something none of us expected, which was what? Billy got beat up. He got pieced up by Ayanda for 2 rounds. But then in the third, he pulled it out the fire and said, yo, listen, I wasn't getting hit because you wanted to hit me. I was just getting you tired with my face. And he choked him out. It was absolutely crazy. So, Ola, how did you feel about this fight in terms of the fact that the favorite, well, he didn't dominate, but he did what he came there to do. He got the win in convincing fashion at the end over one of our favorite fighters in Ayanda Zwane.
Yeah, man. Sometimes when you look at this fight, I mean, these fighters, especially somebody like a Billy the Kid, that I mean, so tough. Like I look at MMA fighters sometimes, and you can see the work that they put into the preparation of coming into the fight. And you could see Billy was ready. He came in with the endurance, came in with a lot of heart as well. Because I like you said, Ayanda did put this, which is why it surprised me with Billy pulling it out of the bag, right? But with Billy, it could be the next one, like you said, for Sekeletu, right? Because of the situation going on with Eagle Smiley Cabeza. So it could be the next one. It could be right in there, because Ayanda has been kind of ripe for that title conversation. And some of the, like the tournaments that he's been in, the Grand Prix that he's been in, it's kind of like being in title conversations or contender conversation for at least to go and see the champion of the division. But it's not managed to quite get himself there yet. But Billy, I think, with a win like this, in the way that he pulled it out, I think it could be the while Smiley the champ is resting, while the champ is recovering, that could be the fight to do. Which is what I'm saying. It's not a bad thing anymore to defend the interim title. It's not, especially when Roedie Roets is retiring, right? If he's retiring and out of the way, he can ask for a rematch. So, why not put Billy the Kid there? And let's see what happens in the meantime, till the champ comes back. Eagle Smiley Cabeza.
Now, Billy the Kid, Achi, this fight was exciting. It was bloody. What's your view on how Billy won this fight? What tools did he deploy to actually, essentially, and I would use the word in this instance, outsmart Ayanda? Because from my perspective, he literally used his face to get Ayanda tired. He used his face to feint to say,
"Who does that, bro? Who does that?"
Oh, Billy, look at Billy's face. Billy did it, which is what blows my mind. Like and I was standing with Sibusiso Sobendle, who lost to Billy the exact same way. And in the first round, he said, listen, this is exactly what Billy did to me. He let me beat him up for about a round and a half, got me a little bit tired, understood how I was moving, took me down, submitted me. Literally 5 minutes after he told me that, Billy did the exact same thing to Ayanda. So, Achi, what tools do you think Billy used in this fight to win this fight?
I think Billy's just a smart fighter, because remember, Ayanda, he gets going, and he just like ducks, and he just like he throws, man. He's like so technical. And a Billy, I think, is like a Marab, like we said, like he's a machine, he's a machine. He's gonna keep coming. You're gonna hit him, yes. You're gonna tenderize his face. But he's gonna find a way to pull it out, because that's what I saw. Because like even the way he set up the choke, I didn't even think Ayanda was that tired, but it just shows that like as Ayanda was just throwing hands, he gassed out, he gassed out the arms, he gassed out the arms. Then he couldn't defend, because like the choke was so easy. The choke was so easy for Billy. It just happened like that. Because I was like, no, he's because I literally was like, no, Billy's not gonna like attempt a rear naked. And like let it go through. Ayanda will never let it go through because Ayanda is literally winning, bro. Like I think I don't know, maybe the scorecards were like 2-10-8s, because
It was
like
that bad.
it was that bad. Like his face, though, because like I remember seeing the blood, coming out of his nose, like, and I'm like,
Mhm.
whoa. Then out of nowhere, I'm like, what the hell? Like, I think he just like you said, he looked like Marab, and he has that stamina. He can keep going. He can keep going because like then he shined in the last round. He shined like the diamond that he is. So Billy the Kid, I was always a fan. I'm an even bigger fan right now.
100%. He showed the dog. Now that's what you call
Yeah.
an absolute dog in a fight in Billy the Kid Oosthuizen. Now, and I changed it just in time. But anyways, now let's look at the picks from last week. Now I'm just gonna put up my picks and how I did on the night in terms of 1-1. Achi, you can chime in with how well you did. But essentially, the red squares are the fights I predicted incorrectly, and the green are the ones I got correct. And I got
Yeah.
9 fights correct on the night. The prelims were bad. Oh, the prelims. Those prelims were electric. I'll be honest. Those boys in the prelims.
Wait a minute. You telling me you're more rubbish at this than the competition we got going on? Wait a minute.
Bruh. All I'm gonna say is I put my money where my mouth is. My money's in that competition, man. I ain't losing that motherfucker.
So
Hey, you hear what they say, Kraken? Yeah?
yeah.
Money is the root of all evil,
Oh,
bro. Yeah?
oh,
And focus. But
I focus,
also,
yeah.
in all honesty, I was very surprised by. There's 2 losses that I was surprised by. Mnikathi fighting out of CIT. We've seen the work he's done, the experience he has. I was surprised. Katikati, look, that one. I mean, Aki
I
called him a
told you.
parlay
I
buster.
told you.
Okay,
I
my bad.
told you.
My bad.
I told you.
Okay, you're right, dude. You're right. But the Merva, I mean, Kamba was coming in with the record of 4-5. 4-5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what was you thinking though? Like, what was your thought process? Like, I actually want to hear. I'm interested. What your
Around
thought process was?
Mark Kamba versus Jaden Van Merva
No. TK.
in
TK.
general. TK,
No, TK. Yeah. Your
I
thought
looked at
process for
Yemba.
picking him.
I looked at his record. He's, I think, 2 professional fights, right? As much as this dude is on a 10 fight, well, at that point, 9 fight skid, right? I'm like, look, you can't lose 10 fights in a row. No one does that. I've never heard of 10 fights in a row. It's literally almost impossible. It's unheard of.
Hold
So
on.
I just
So because you've
assumed,
never had 10 fights in a row, that's your thought process? Like,
to be honest, that was it. There's no way he's going to lose 10 fights in a row. I mean, this guy was 5 fights undefeated. He was an absolute prospect. And maybe he's come back from those KOs last year. And as Leroy says, he probably should have been the debutant, but Yemba dominated the fight and then choked him out. So my thought process was simply, look, it's 10 fights. This guy's 2 fights. I mean, you've 15 fights now. You have to have the experience to beat someone with only 2 fights. That's my thought process. But unfortunately, it didn't quite come through.
no, to be fair, it's a good one. It's a good enough thought process. It's a good enough thought process. You know what I mean? But at the same time, 9 fights kid should have kind of told you something. You know what I mean? So at least now you know. At 10 fights.
Would you bet
kid,
against Tony
now you know.
Ferguson?
Even when Tony was a champion, I'm betting against that motherfucker. You know I don't like that fool. That's a bad example. Bro. You know what I mean? Now you're giving me excuses to bring up Khabib up in this blood. Yeah. Now you're giving me excuses to do that. Yeah. Let's go, brother.
Moving right along. Now,
big up Ayanda, by the way. Salute to Ayanda in the house. Big up the homie.
Power.
That's the bro.
We
right
know that
there.
you'll be back stronger. We're looking forward to seeing you in the next fight. And yeah, look, it just happened. Ayanda says he's going to take a break, make a few changes, and then he will run it again.
Thank you very much, Ayanda. That's what I want for you, bro. That's what I want for you. I was talking about this the other day with you, Yao, off air on the phone, and yeah, I think that's something you really need. So yeah, big up to you, and we're always rooting for you, my brother. Always rooting for you.
Always
Yeah,
shout out.
that was probably like fight of the year, bro. Like in the beginning of the year, that was
And
crazy.
interestingly enough, as you say that, Akhi, both fighters in that fight got a performance bonus because it's
Yeah,
exactly what you say. It might be fight of the year so far because Ayanda's performance was fantastic. Like you said, he was winning that fight. Billy just had the experience, he had the timing, and he had the dog to take those shots to the face. Look, honestly, the shots to the face blew my mind, guys. Like, this guy just kept getting hit in the face and
Yeah,
smiling. I'm like, is this guy serious?
yeah.
This dude serious? Like, he just. But anyway, so they both got a fight bonus for that absolutely amazing fight, as well as Nicholas Vermark, Ngamnthwini, and Lucy Mbizani. Now, you wouldn't have seen any of those fights, Aki, but the
yeah,
Mlungisi Mbizani fight between him and Nicholas Vermark was stellar. Debutant in Mlungisi, he's coming from Shuriken background, and he was putting the kicks on Nicholas Vermark. However, it did go to the judges, and everyone in the arena was screaming robbery because Vermark got beat up, but the judges
mm,
somehow gave it to him. What are your thoughts on that in terms of robbing a debutant of? I mean, he even got the performance bonus. That's how well he fought. But what are your thoughts on
yeah.
robbing a debutant after an absolutely stellar performance in a fight that not only did he just win, but and you can even see it in the picture there. Vermark had an absolutely huge red bruise on his ribs from all the shots he took to the ribs.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Mlungisi Mbizani's performance and his career, Achi?
I think like usually with the UFC, with the EFC, I mean, they always try create like controversy, because I even remember with the guys from Scotland, Kier Harvey, you know, they always like did something like snacksnyana to him, so I don't know what's up with the judges. I don't know what's up with the judges. I don't know which fights they watch. Because all the time, they try to do something like sneaky. Because even with I personally think Bandu versus Ba, the fight like that was a robbery too. Because like I think Bandu just won the fight because Trickus was there. Because Ba was slugging, bro. Ba was slugging. He was the guy. So I think it's the same thing. Maybe they're trying to prop up. I'm sorry to say, but the white guy, because
Be
I hate to
careful.
say
Be careful, Kraken. You got the CIT lawyer sitting
that.
above you right there. He's,
And
he's the CIT and Dricos lawyer right there, man. Be careful.
yeah, I know, man. But like, I'm a CIT fan too. I'm a CIT
Yeah,
fan
same here.
too. But
Same here.
like,
Same here.
we both know we saw that fight the
Mhm.
way it played out. We both know. But like, yeah, man, I think it's just a bummer that they're robbing a debutante. But yeah, I'm hoping they could run it back because, like, give the fans what they want, man. I just hate when they ruin people's careers as they're starting, because like even the Scotland guys, they don't come anymore because like we're gonna lose fighters uh to Brave, we're gonna lose fighters to AEU Warriors,
Yeah,
because those guys pay,
yeah.
and it's a different country. So I just hope that like they can get their shit together so that we do not lose these fighters because we're gonna lose good fighters if
Yeah.
they keep doing this.
No, you're absolutely spot on. And I just want to add to to what you're saying there, because when you look at promotions and the way they operate, especially with African MMA, that's I think it's on the up because of the fighters that are coming out of it and going on to bigger and better promotions and really putting the African MMA out there, right? And this is
Yeah,
where we need to nurture it better. We need to look after it better. We need to look after the fighters that come and fight in there better. I know a couple of fighters. Mark Ewen is one of them, and he
yeah.
said to me, EFC,
Oh, Mark, bro.
Max my homie, right? He told me they stopped paying for my transport to come over there to compete is why I don't come there to compete no more. That's the only reason. Yeah, because EFC refused to pay for him to travel and go back, which is not much. If you get in a fighter like Mark, if you get in a fighter like Mark on your roster and you refuse to keep him because you don't want to pay for his transport, that's crazy. It's crazy.
Once in a generation talent, bro. Once in a generation.
Mark is lethal. You know about him. So
bro,
these are the sort of things that we're talking about.
Oh, but you see, I saw Ayanda said close relationship with fighters is what's killing African MMA. Because like, bro, I even saw what Graham was promoting Bandu. And while he was like while he was warming up, and I'm like, dog, you're the matchmaker.
You're not.
You're the matchmaker.
You're gonna do that. Do both of them, or do nothing at all.
Yeah, because like he's geeking out over Drickus and stuff, as if Drickus is not his friend, as if he doesn't see him, because I'm like, that's not what they should be doing. You don't see Mick Maynard and all of them just be
Hunter
going
Campbell.
to like camp. Yeah, Hunter Campbell. You don't see them like going to camps, other fighters' camps. You only see them at the weigh-ins, or you only see them doing their thing. And that's what's gonna kill the sport, Yes, we know they have a good product. We cannot dispute that. They have a good product. But them just going into these camps and like being biased, because then dog, you root. Because Kier Harvey is like a grappler. And I hate to say it again, but he was hugging his way into fights, right? And they were matching him up against strikers. I would root for him because I knew that every time they would rob him, every time. Even he said it in, I think it's his second last fight or his last fight at the EFC. He said nobody has ever given him a fair shake. Because like I think he took 2 losses from UFC, 2 losses and a draw. And I was like, the draw he had won it, and that's ruining us. That's ruining us. I'm sorry. I got emotional there.
No. You're right.
And
it's important to bring these topics up about a promotion that we all fuck with. You know what I mean? We love the promotion. We want the promotion to do well. Hell, we're begging UFC to come do UFC Africa in collaboration with EFC and use some of their announcers, and use some of their staff, and use some of the fighters on the roster. But if you're not really improving the product in the first place, this is what I said to Yao. Like, I thought EFC did a really, really bad job of promoting the very first fight of 2025. Hell, we didn't even know. They weren't putting out no videos. There weren't no promotions. There weren't nothing, And I said, where's all the promo? Where's all the promo gone? What have they done to really let people outside of South Africa? Because now the sport's growing. Now the fighters are doing their best to get their name out there internationally. Now, what are you doing to help these fighters to grow their names, to grow with the promotion and be a better product? Yeah, we know you got a good product, but can you improve on the product you've got? And EFC has done that with this first fight of 2025.
You're 100% right. However, like you said, the CIT lawyer is here. Now, 2 things.
However, I know where this is going. Please continue.
Okay. Just on the Bandu fight, you guys are right. However, and this is from taking what people said, and I guess what I also saw. In the 3rd round, Bandu secured a few takedowns when Drickus was in the corner, which would have given him just the edge to maybe go through on the judges. So on that one, I wouldn't call it a robbery. I definitely want a rematch because I think there's definitely a reason for them to fight again to prove who really won that fight. But with decisions like that.
No. You're not about to get away with that nonsense, bro. You told me the other day that control time is nothing. It's not a thing. Ankalev did nothing in that fight, and now you want to tell me
that was not me. That was not me who said that.
No, that was you and Nick. That was you and Nick. Oh yeah, I went back and watched. I got the receipt. I got the receipt, bro. Oh yes. I remember this very well. Yeah. So you might want to tell me that control time. Hey, listen, right? This thing that this guy, look, at the end of the day, it's still part of MMA, right? And I know what you're saying, that, oh yeah, he did this and that, and then that's what edged it through. Sometimes that's all you need to do. But as Kraken said, if Dricos hadn't been there, or his presence hadn't been there, do you think Bandu would have got the type of favor that he got now being in CIT? Do you think
because he wouldn't have gotten the cornering that he would have gotten? It was from the coaching.
Do you feel when Bandu for Jaco, the judges would have done that for Bandu? Because they didn't.
No,
we know who won it. Jaco did.
And also the UFC was shooting, right? Wasn't UFC shooting? So obviously, dog, it's like it looks bad. It kind of looks bad if Dricus' fighter, who Dricus is in his corner, loses. You know, it looks bad.
Same weight class.
Come on, it's like it's a no-brainer, and everybody knows. Obviously, they're gonna put in like a few clips of Bandu doing a few kicks, and they're gonna show him getting his hand raised. So it's like it's killing our sport. Yes, Dricus is the number one sponsor. Also, Dricus is the number one sponsor. Come on, dog.
Now that's the other thing I wanted to say with regards to EFCs, the fact that, and kind of speaking to your point, Ola, about the lack of promotion, they lost all their sponsors. Mukuru's gone, Dragon's gone, all of them is gone. It's just I think they got one now, Live West or something. So I think that's what might have hit them in the pocket for them not to have done the right sort of promotion. Although they did still do their EFC Engaged, which was great, but other than that, they didn't seem to do much else. And I think it might have to do.
They could have just hired Leroy. Leroy would have done a cracking job of promoting the hell out of this fucking card. You know what I mean? But hey,
ironically, there's a new person working for them called Leroy. I don't know if it's our Leroy.
Really?
Really?
Fair enough.
Ayanda adding in there saying close relationships are killing us. We can't fight the fighter, ref, and judges at the same time, which I think falls 100% in line with what you guys have just said. And then I'm saying, what are you really saying about Bandu? We're not really saying anything about Bandu except the fact that they need to fight.
He lost the fight. He lost the fight. No, he lost the fight. We know.
That's what he's really saying. You tell him how you really feel, bro. Tell him how you really feel, man.
He lost the fight. Bro. Like, yes, like you said, bro, it's a no-brainer. They lost Mukuru. Come on, bro. Like, they lost so many other fights. They lost them in so many other sponsors. I mean, they lost so many other sponsors. And instead of using the money that they had gotten from Kuru and all of them to pay fighters, to bring amazing talent and making EFC the greatest show in Africa, they went to go watch Dricus fights. They went to go watch Dricus fights, right? I'm probably gonna get banned from EFC for all of this. I'm probably gonna get banned.
Bro, you know there's no free speech in Africa, really. You do know there's no free speech in Africa.
I know, I'm probably gonna get banned, but like, bro, they squandered these opportunities because everything was just Knox. Bro, Knox is trash. Oh,
with that said, let's
cut the commercial. Cut the
commercial. And that commercial will be a Knox commercial. What do you know? Because Knox, please sponsor us. Knox, we're waiting, please. Forget Afi. Sponsor the show. With that said, let's get to the fight of the night. Let's have a look at which fight you guys thought was the fight of the night and which fight was actually crowned the fight of the night by the EFC. Now, we've spoken at length about this fight, and it is the fight, and there's the current sponsor, Five West. It is the fight of the night, Diego Bandu versus Mouhamed Ba, because that fight was absolutely cracking. Those big boys were swinging and hitting each other with so much power. I've never seen Diego Bandu rock before. He got rocked. So, like, he was actually fighting. He wasn't just beating someone up like he usually does. And Mouhamed Ba feels robbed. In the post-fight press conference, Mouhamed said, listen, I was robbed. Diego's like, hey, listen, take your losses. We can run it back, but take your loss. I've taken mine. Let's go. So I'm really looking forward to seeing these two go at it again. For you guys, Achi, let me start with you. What was your fight of the night?
Zwane versus Billy. Bro, I'm I, I'm gonna take like a leave of absence with being a CIT supporter, because like I don't know what's happening there, bro. Like I'm kind of on the fence. I'll see if Cameron Simon wins this fight. Then maybe I might switch teams. I might go to brothers in arms. Like I don't know, but like my fight was Ayanda Zwane versus Billy, because it had everything that a good fight should have. Not the robbery that was Bandu versus Ba. You know, it had an athlete, Ayanda, doing like showing the greatest performance of his life.
Are you sure you're not picking Ayanda's fight because he's here right now and you have close
No,
relationship?
no. You
No,
can
just
ask.
check it. Just check it.
You can
Just
ask
check it.
Jan. You can ask Jan. I wasn't a fan of Ayanda until what he did to Rudy, because then I was like, wow, I see who this guy is. You know,
Yeah.
so Ayanda, the probably one of the best performances of his life,
Mm,
and he came up short
came up
because
short.
somebody, you know, this is MMA. You know, that's the story of
100%.
MMA. It's the same thing as like excommunicado. I don't know who he was fighting against. Again, I think it was somebody from CIT,
Mm,
right? Where it was just a slugfest. There was so much blood, there was so much emotions, but he came up short. You know, like that
mm,
coming up short is, it just makes it so, it tells such a good story, because it shows you about life, that you can do anything. You can do anything and everything and give your best and
mm.
still come up short. You know?
Yeah.
So that Billy versus Zwane fight of the year, definitely.
Yeah, man.
I think you're
Look,
talking about his title fight with Mark Hume is the one where he came up short. Yes, Ola.
Yes.
yeah. I wanna echo everything what you said there about the Ayanda Zwane and Billy the Kid's fight. But in the interest of picking something else, I will go with Diego Bandu and Bad because he did go all 3 rounds. These two
Yeah.
did they did beat the crap out of each other, right?
Yeah.
And when you and for me, fight of the night is always determined by either a fight you think is robbery because there's going to be split decisions involved, and you may not agree with who it went to because both of them did really, really well and they beat the brakes off of each other. And I think in that Diego Bandu, maybe not as much as the Billy the Kid and Ayanda and the way it ended, right? Because we still got a finish out of that fight.
Yeah.
In this fight here, we ended up with a unanimous decision. But like I said, in the interest of picking, something else that
Something
was
different.
really, really, that was something different that was really, really good on the table, I'll go with Diego Bandu and Mouhamed Ba.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to pick different because those two fights were amazing with the Ayanda Zwane fight because of Billy's face. Honestly, I've never seen someone fainting with their face and smiling as they get hit. Like, he blew my mind. If I wasn't a fan of Billy the Kid before that fight, I'm definitely a fan of Billy the Kid now. And so for that reason, for me, that was my fight of the night. But yes, Diego Bandu, Mouhamed Ba, they need to run it back because that fight was absolutely crazy. Those are real heavy middleweights. That's when you say these middleweights are scrapping, they are fighting. There was power, there was skill, there was drama. Like that. That is a fight that I would not mind seeing at the top of this division in the EFC, maybe for a title or for a number one contender, which this almost was because now Diego's been calling out Luke for that middleweight shot, but he might have to run it back against Mouhamed Ba before he can get that shot. But let's see what
Bro,
Ray
I
decides.
want to see. I know he's his teammate now, but they weren't teammates the first time they fought. I want to see him running back with Jaco before he can go talk to Luke. That's just how I feel about it, bro. Just
Yeah.
because you know what I mean. He lost to Jaco before to go and see, and Jaco. We see what happened with
Jacko
Jaco
and
and
Luke.
and Luke. So go run it back with Jaco, get that win back off of Jaco, and then go see Luke. Why not? You know,
Yeah.
so
It'll be interesting to see what the matchmakers decide on that one. Shout out Ayanda Zwane saying Billy was not smiling because he was happy, but because he was hiding the pain. I agree, he was hiding the pain. Like, that's what blew my mind. Just getting. Anyways,
did you see? I think Shadrach is main eventing with Luke the Duck and 125, 124 actually. Graham posted.
So that fight is set now.
Oh, that fight
I
is
think
set?
it's set. Yes, I think it's set. Yes, because
okay.
Shadrach posted a video of him training. Then Graham posted Luke versus Shadrach for 124.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of exclusive there.
Yeah. I should be a journalist.
Yeah, man. Big up Aggie for that one.
Shout out Aki. Now let's get to the finish of the night. Now there were a lot of finishes on this card, especially in the prelims. I'll just go through them from the main card down. Now we had Oosthuizen subbing Ayanda in the 4th minute of the 3rd round. We had Kaleka Kabanda bludgeoning Hanru Botha in the 1st round. 4 minutes in the 1st round. He was just like mashing on him. It was pretty entertaining, I'll be honest. Block is back. And then the prelims, we had Ashzola subbing, Godfrey Mkonazi. We had Mark Kamba KOing, Jaden Van der Merwe. We had Yemba guillotining my man Tapiwa Katikati, the mighty warrior. And then we had Jesse Schaefer with RNC, another rear naked choke, I think it was. And then we had a guillotine in the first fight between Ngobese and Musa. Of all these fights, which one, let me start with you, Ola. No, let me start with you, Achi. Which one was your finish of the night, your submission or KO of the night?
I think when I was outside, Kamba showed me his finish. Right. Kamba showed me his finish because I remember it was just like he was like swinging, right? Then he's like, bah! Because then I think that one was the one. I kind of hate myself for not being there to see it, but like KOs always like take rank, man. KOs just always take rank because I think they were trying to. Who was he fighting against again?
Jaden Van der Merwe, the guy.
Yeah, I think they were trying to give Van der Merwe. I think they were trying to give Van der Merwe the leap, like just I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm saying. They were trying to prop him up, but like Kamba just because you could see how the dude probably thought everybody thought he was gonna lose, So big ups to Kamba for like that KO. I saw it; it was beautiful.
You know what? Let me actually just skip to it. Because we have that KO.
Oh,
fortunately,
let's go.
EFC has provided the KO, and so it's exactly what you just described. And Jaden's eyes just rolled into the back of his head. So he caught Jaden with an absolutely vicious right hook.
Yeah.
And then from there, Jaden tried to recover, but there was no recovery. He just kept getting smashed. There's the left, and then he tried to recover. Then there was another left, then a right, and it was just down. There's nothing he could do.
Yeah, that stuff is vicious.
Yes, he showed me that.
That stuff
he
is
showed
vicious.
Me that.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I mean,
absolutely wild. It's
kind of hard to top that, though, isn't it? It's kind of when you're asking us for favorite finish. Like, it's kind of tough. It's hard to top that one. That one there is absolutely spectacular.
They're trying to give Van der Merwe like the lead because, like, bro, like if somebody, if it was Kamba getting knocked out like that, like first, bro, look, he got knocked out twice, and like the referees did nothing. I think they're trying to give each other CTE. Yeah, they're trying to give the fighters CTE, like free range CTE, like the good kind.
Bobby Green business. So Ola, is that also your finish of the night? Because if you think about it, all the other finishes except for Kaleka Kabanda were submissions. We had like three
Yeah,
rear naked
bro,
chokes,
I
guillotines.
love submissions, bro. Like, don't be silly, jump the gilly. Like,
Oh,
yeah, bro. Like, what you talk? We love submissions around here, and you know what? I'm gonna go with Ash Zola. I think I mentioned him earlier on when I talked about some of the fights, and because it's so early in the prelims, maybe it might not have got the right or the right love that he should have got. But I think in a spectacular way, this guy pulling up on his debut and going to do work like this and nailing a rear naked choke in the second round, I think is phenomenal. And I'm expecting some good things from this fighter here. So hopefully we're going to see him grow. We're going to see him being nurtured. And yeah, he can keep putting in good performances like this. And if this is the way he starts, I think he's got a very, very good career ahead of him. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Zola.
so before we move on, speaking of Ash Zola, with the comment that's been dropped by Under the Power, he fought Ash Zola in his first fight in amateurs. But we've seen Ayanda's career. Ayanda's already fighting in the Grand Prix, close to title contendership, but Ash is in his debut. Now, Ash has just come off a win from the contender series of the EFC. Akhi, talk to me about your views on Ash and let's say the value the contender series in the EFC can add to the EFC of bringing these fighters through on their debuts to come through and beat fighters with more experience, for example, in the form of Godfrey Mkunazi.
Yeah, I think it's a good move because versus is creeping in. Versus is creeping in. Versus is selling out shows. So I think that kind of shook Graham a bit, and so I think versus is pulling up, and it's showing people that they can be the leading promoters. Because I think people can turn pro at versus, right?
Yeah, they have pro fights now.
Yeah, you see. So like,
Is that
watch
Cameron's
out.
promotion?
Yeah.
That's Cameron's promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
They're filling
Their
they're
events are
filling
good.
out
Their events are good.
they're
Yeah.
filling out shows, bro. Like they filling out like arenas.
Yeah, Yao's
And
been pretty high on them, to be fair. You've been very, very high on them,
yeah.
and the work that they've been doing. So yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, so I think like yes, EFC needs to pull up their socks, but like if how are they gonna pull up their socks if they're losing sponsors? But like, hey, we'll see, man. I don't want to get banned. Please don't ban me. I don't want to get banned. I know.
Look,
I'm emotional today. I'm emotional today. I'm sorry, and I'm not
in
even
your
drunk.
defense, in your defense, the odds of anyone in EFC management watching this for now are slim to none, so you're safe. And I'm not gonna put it as a short, so you're good. Moving on, upcoming fights. Let's look at some exciting things that are happening specifically in the EFC. Fights to watch, other than the one that you just mentioned that we are all excited to, because as you because as you mentioned, Shadrach Blambeans, who was finally getting his title shot against Luke. Oh, that's not me saying he's getting his gold. Oopsie, wait, hang on.
Yeah. What did you say? No, put that back on.
No,
I didn't catch it. Can I see that real quick? I'm joking. That was political as hell. You know what I mean? Stop playing, bro.
Yeah, that's a very political match.
That's a very political statement.
But moving on to the fights to watch, coming up at EFC 121, we finally have a rematch. Sorry, the title defense at heavyweight level. Anthony Big Morel is defending his title against
I'm glad he's
the
defending.
Bomber Moyo.
I'm glad he's defending.
The Bomber is back. The Bomber is back.
Mm.
And we have Faze Jacobs defending his bantamweight title against Sibusiso Sovenda. We spoke about him earlier. He's finally getting his title shot. He's been steamrolling for a while in the EFC. How are you guys feeling? Ola, let me start with you talking about the bantamweight title fight between Faze Jacobs and Sibusiso Sovenda.
Yeah, man, it's troublemaker for me, bro. Troublemaker all day long, brother. I think this guy is as legit as they come. And if you went for activity, skill for skill and the things that he's capable of doing, I think he's he's almost outgrowing EFC. And to Agi's point, if they don't start treating these fighters well and start promoting them in the right way and getting their names out there, he'd be gone. He'd be gone because promotions like Brave promotion, those type of promotions will come and get fighters like Faiz Jacobs. He really is that good. So I'm excited to see this matchup, and it'll be his first defense since winning the title. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what that to see how that one pans out. I'm looking forward to it. I like this fight.
Aki, we've got the suplex machine, Suplex City,
Yeah,
Anthony Big Morel
Suplex City.
coming up against Mr. Brick Hands himself, Elvis the Bomber Moyo. How are you feeling about this fight? How are you feeling about this matchup? And how are you feeling about Moyo
Yeah,
finally
man.
getting his title shot? Because he's been hunting this since Triple H beat Van Damme all those years ago. It's only like a year and a half, but he's been hunting this.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to seeing the heavyweights because, like, the last fight that I saw, I think it was Van Damme versus Triple H, and
Oh,
like
I
we
love
don't
that
really,
fight. I
yeah,
love that fight. That
we really don't get like enough heavyweight fights in the EFC, because I remember there was this guy from the US who got knocked out. No, from the UK who got knocked out by
Yes.
Van Damme. Right? Like, no, he didn't get knocked out. I think he had like a hyperextension. Like Van Damme kicked him in the. No, it wasn't Van Damme. Sorry, Triple H.
Triple H.
Triple H kicked him in the knee, and he hyperextended his knee. Got a TKO. So I'm looking forward to seeing the heavyweights if I'm still coming to UFC.
You're not
But
banned.
yeah, I'm not banned yet. I might be the reason that Head Cake Podcast goes viral because of my political views. But yeah,
I
man.
mean,
We don't get enough. We don't get enough heavyweight fights. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Yeah.
yeah, man. I mean,
I agree completely.
this
Yeah.
Anthony Morrow brother as well. I don't know much about Elvis Morrow. You guys definitely know more about him. Anthony Morrow, in his last fight, obviously, they defeated a friend of the fight, a friend of our show over here from the UK as well, Joffy Houghton, Big Joff.
Yeah.
Came over there, and that was a really, really good fight. And that was the first time I actually see Anthony Morel in action. And they did ask him to see if he was going to stick around, and because obviously he is from outside. I think it's from outside the continent, or is it from the continent? I can't remember exactly where
He's
it's
from
from.
Reunion Island, but he also fights in Aries. I think he's had a few fights in Aries.
Yeah, I've seen him. Yeah, exactly. So for me, I was just thinking to myself, I'm not sure whether he's going to stick around and defend the title. So when I see this come up, as you just pulled it up, I thought, oh, you know what? I'm actually happy that he stuck around to try and defend the title and do right by the heavyweight division, because, like Agi said, not much action really goes off in the heavyweight division. And since the last action-packed that we saw with the heavyweight division was Triple H and Van Damme. And those two, they brought the build-up, they brought the fight, and even the post-fight was crazy. I loved everything about it. And we need to see more of that in the EFC. It's crazy, bro. Absolutely insane.
That was so much
Loved
fun.
Yeah, man.
And that's actually the reason that post-fight scrap was part of the reason why Elvis Moyo didn't get the title shot against Triple H, is because they had that beef. So Elvis Moyo is actually the guy that caused the whole beef when Triple H went to Van Damme's corner screaming at Elvis Moyo. So it's good to see him to show what he can do in the Hex. Gentlemen, we have come to the end of the recap show. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's start with you, Achi. What do you have cracking? What do you have coming up? What's happening in your fight world?
Man, I'm looking forward to seeing Kevin Lorena's boxing promotion matchup fight card happening on the 15th. Kozo, our famous Hexagon announcer, he's going to be announcing. I saw they just had like the press conference today.
Shout out to Hot Summer.
Yeah, hoping to see that also. But yeah, ESS, we're gonna be coming back strong. But yeah, we'll just, I still haven't forgot you, Jan. Like, we have to do the contender series type of matchup. Like, yeah. But then other than that, that's me, man. But like, hey, man, have me here more often. I like rage, like I like expressing I think this is therapy for me. I like expressing my emotions on MMA podcasts, talking about the fucking fighters that are appreciated, that are not appreciated. But like, yeah, man, Leroy, I will apologize to the guys over at EFC. But like, Graham takes pictures. If he takes pictures of you, you're banned. So yeah. Like, because I was banned before. And came back.
That's crazy.
They banned my baby. They like banning people. Ola, talk to me. Fight Week show. What do you have coming up?
Yo, the Fight Week show. We got work coming on. Dust Up Shakedown is going to be there for Thursday 9 p.m. UK. And Aggie, if you love expressing yourself about fighters that you're not going to get banned from, my platform is the place to do it. You know what I mean?
Please.
Come over to the Fight Week show, man. You can talk your shit. Nobody's going to ban you.
Please,
so yeah,
man.
we got Dust Up Shakedown coming up on Thursday. We got the prediction show, I think,
Prediction show.
Friday.
No, you mean the prediction show I'm owning on Friday. The one I'm winning.
The one you own here, you failed miserably. The one you own here, you failed miserably, bro.
We need to put money on that one.
But yeah, we got all those coming. There's so much in the pipeline. We got Modestas Bukauskas. He's going to be pulling up. We're working on him pulling up on Dust Up Shakedown for this Thursday, and we also have Adrian Sanchez is going to be pulling up as well on Dust Up Shakedown this Thursday. Rayo is going to be pulling up on Dust Up Shakedown. So it's going to be interesting. And yeah, we definitely need to do some work to get Blammy back on the channel and see what he's saying about this news that Kraken is giving to us. And on top of that, we need to talk to Young Gun, man. You need to find a way to talk to Young Gun. Young Gun is a little bit expensive to talk to nowadays.
No one talks to Young Gun. That man is a little bit
expensive to talk to nowadays, bro. You know what I mean? But we need to find a way to talk to Young Gun and make everything happen. But yeah, we got a lot going on the Fight Week show. So big up to everybody that fucks with us. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my God, yo, you are
so.
You are
no. This is not disgrace. This is just to make sure.
You are shameless, bro. I cannot believe.
And you did not take me off. Aha. So, actually, just so you know, I'm running the streets. Yeah, I'm running the streets on behalf of SA on this underdogs competition that we're running for the UFC. Every week we have a prediction show where we run a fight card. You have to pick at least 3 underdogs. That's the basic rule, and then whoever gets the most points. 3 points for underdog, by the way, wins the competition. And this is the current standing. So, Ola, just put some respect on my name when I'm talking about these things. That's all I'm saying, fam. That's all I'm saying. But shout out to everyone listening. Thank you so much for listening. Do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe at Tech Kickpod on all platforms. Fight Week Show, Aki the Kraken, Elite Sports. You will find us before the next EFC, talking all things EFC 122. Until next time, salute.
Yeah.
Kick him in the head.
Kick him in the head. I actually forgot that one. Thank you, Aki. Ola, yours. We didn't hear yours.
Kick him in the head.
Oh, I love